So I was talking to a male friend of mine the other day, and he told me that women don't apologize and women can't be held accountable. And I began to really think deeply about this idea. And one of the things that came across my mind is in the last 9 months or so of me being in my private practice, I have myself experienced many women, whether they came as a couple or they came by themselves, they very abruptly discontinued their therapy. And I started to reflect and really think, what was going on here? And I noticed that after I had to confront them about something, I had to bring to their attention something they were doing that wasn't contributing to the health of the relationship, they became very defensive and very, just very harsh, and they stopped coming. And even though the husband would continue to come, he made it very clear that, yeah, she won't apologize. She thinks you're wrong. She thinks you're taking my side. And I began to really reflect, like, oh my gosh, is it true that women don't apologize? Is it that women struggle with being held accountable? I'd love your thoughts on this. Me personally, I think it has to do with a person's level of emotional maturity. What do you think?
Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Quadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahweh Shai is to the world. Ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. The Rakah Quadash is the Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew. And double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing in His word. Lord willing, they can continue to endure and be sincere. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth. In the same spirit, Lord willing, that they can continue to endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Aquatium that are believers of the faith and the truth. Lord willing, you can continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not of faith. Lord willing, the title of this lesson shall be The Proud and Wicked Woman Shall Be Humbled. Or I'm going to just say the proud and emulation woman will be humbled. Emulation means jealous, right? But let's just get it right into it, right? Because this ministry is not one-sided. And every day when the men of the Lord is teaching, every day, every other weekend, most of the time we're teaching against men. And we're teaching against all Israel. But who's in literally in a power seat of power when it comes to men and women? It would be men. Point blank, period. Right? So literally every lesson is towards a man, right? Either to lift him up, either to rebuking the unrighteous, right? It's always towards men, right? But in most cases, it's about women too, right? We got to get on the wicked sisters, the unrighteous sister, the sister that's weak in her faith, or a sister that come in this truth and they want a high rank brother, or a woman that's overly jealous, or a woman that talks back to her husband, a woman that don't accept order, right? Because this is a unique sex ministry. It's about men and women, right? But the main point is the men, right? And of course, over that point is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. So Lord willing, we can go through a few scriptures, right? The first one I want to go to is in some history. This is 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 14, Salaki. It says in the KJV, and David danced before the Lord Yahweh with all his might, and David was girded with a linen ephod. So David and all the house of Israel brought up the ark of the Lord Yahweh with shouting and with the sound of the trumpet. And as the ark of the Lord Yahweh came into the city of David, Michal, Saul's daughter, looked through a window and saw King David leaping and dancing before the Lord Yahweh, and she despised him in her heart. And they brought in the ark of the Lord Yahweh and set it in his place, and in the midst of the tabernacle that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and peace offerings before the Lord Yahweh. And as soon as David had made an end of offering burnt offerings and peace offerings, he blessed the people in the name of the Lord Yahweh of hosts. And he dealt among all the people, even among the whole multitude of Israel, as well to the women as men. To every one a cake of bread and a good piece of flesh and a flagon of wine. So all the people departed, every one to his house. Then David returned to bless his household, and Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet David and said, "How glorious was the king of Israel today, who uncovered himself today in the eyes of the handmaids of his servants, as one of the vain fellows shamelessly uncovereth himself." I'm going to read that in the NLT real quick, where it says, "And when David returned home to bless his own family, Michal, the daughter of Saul, came out to meet him. She said in disgust, 'How distinguished the king of Israel looked today, shamelessly exposing himself to the servants' girls like any vulgar person might do.'" Verse 21 in the KJV. "And David said unto Michal, it was before the Lord Yahweh." See, she got caught up. She thinking it's for the women, right? Or David's caring about the women. He said he's doing it for the Lord Yahweh, which chose me before thy father and before thy household to appoint me ruler over the people of the Lord Yahweh, over Israel. Therefore will I play before the Lord Yahweh, and I will yet be more veiled than thus. Right? Basically, I am willing to look even more foolish than this. Right? It's just showing you in the NLT. "And will base in my own sight, and of the maid servants which thou hast spoken of them shall I be had in honor." Right? I'll read it in NLT. "Yes, I am willing to look even more foolish than this, even to be humiliated in my own eyes. But those servant girls you mentioned will indeed think I am distinguished." Verse 23 in the KJV. "Therefore Michal, the daughter of Saul, had no child unto the day of her death." Right? The children, right? All of us, men and women, women and men, we should be humble in front of the eyes of Yahweh Shem Shai, because his eyes go to and fro throughout the earth. You know, you women is getting observed right now. Who is the center of attention in our nation is women, right? Because literally when we talk about like this truth, you know, the men is in a lower level than what they supposed to be. And right now, who's getting more shine? Even though we see men celebrities, the women is getting more shine. You know, dressing damn near naked, right? You got to talk to a woman in a nicer way. You can't be bold and what you call it, uptight with women, right? You can't be strict, right? Because then they get in their emotions and feelings, right? But Michal was thinking about these women, and David thinking about Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? But he already said in the KJV, he said if he did, they will honor him, right? And he walked away, and guess what? The Lord hit her with by closing her womb. Now you can't have no child right now, right? She didn't have a child. Let me see in the NLT, it says, "So Michal, the daughter of Saul, remained childless throughout her entire life." Right? She ain't had no kids. That's what you get, right? Let's go to another one. Let's go to Isaiah 13 and 11. This is Isaiah 13 and 11. It says, "And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogance of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible." Right? The Lord is going to punish the world and the wicked for their iniquity, right? And women bumping up against their man, right? Telling them what they ought to do, right? or trying to usurp authority in some type of way, or a woman that's in emulation, right? When you go to Galatians, the 5th chapter, you can't inherit the kingdom, right? Let's go to that. Let's go to Galatians, right? Because she was showing, like, because he had to clear it up and let her know, man, I'm dancing for the Lord. She over here talking about women. This is Galatians chapter 5, verse 18. It says, but if ye be led of the Spirit, ye are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, sedition, or heresies, right? And if we go in NLT, it says jealousy, right?
Strong's G 2205. Zelos.
Zelos. So excitement of mind, endower, favor of spirit, zeal. When you look at this one right here, it says an envious and contentious rivalry or jealousy, right? It's a jealousy, right? Maybe Michael wanted him to dance in front of her, right? Instead of the woman. But now he talking about he was doing it for the Lord. She should have took accountability. Like when you go to the video, it says if it's apologizing or accountability, the demons on them won't allow it, right? So when you went to Samuel, you don't see her saying sorry after David said, man, I was dancing for the Lord, right? So I got to go out of this because there's no apocrypha in this book. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 26, and I'm going to read verse 23, right? It says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord, right? Because literally, let's go up, 26 and 14, it says, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Al Shai, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed, right? If her mind was well instructed, she would have thought before she spoke, or literally she just would have been a loving and silent woman, you know? Well, what is you worried about anything outside the household unless I'm getting killed, you know, or something out of the order, right? But when you see when David laid with Uriah's wife, it was a man that corrected her. Even Bathsheba didn't correct him, right? It was a man, right? But it was really Yahweh Shema Shai correcting him through the prophet, through the servant, you know? Women really stay in their lot, right? Women wasn't put in a position to correct their husband, right? But that's why a God-fearing man, you know, he's going to be given a God-fearing woman, right? So if a man is wicked, he's going to get a wicked portion. But if a man is righteous, he's going to get a righteous portion or a righteous gift, which is a loving and silent wife, you know? And a woman that is pursuing to be virtuous, she's going to prolong his days, right? That's Sirach chapter 26 when you go up to verse 1 and 3, right? Blessed is the man that have a virtuous wife, for the number of his days shall be double. A virtuous woman rejoiceth her husband, and she shall fulfill the years of his life in peace, right? A wife is going to rejoice off of her husband, right? Or why you think sometimes when you come home, a wife, oh man, daddy's home, or babe's home, right? Or my Lord is home, right? My Adawan, or my master is home, you know? Verse 3, it says, a good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know? And guess what? David had multiple wives, right? So if one not gonna get right, The Lord got another one, but you see how she was still his wife, but she couldn't have no child. You know, the Lord not playing with his anointed. He's not playing with his chosen, starting with the men. And even you sisters, the Lord not playing with you, the sisters that's in this faith, right? Because right now it's the time for women to be humbled now, right? For the ones that's walking in this truth, you're slowly being humbled right now. So all praise to Yahweh Hashem Shai. He chose you, you know? And that's why you got to always pursue to be that peace. You know, work on yourself and analyze if you are a piece. You know, you should be analyzing what your man like and what he don't like, right? To be forth to be that piece. You know, a man shouldn't have to tell his wife 2 or 3 times. 2 or 3 times, shame on you. But yeah, we know that the woman is the weaker vessel, right? But a woman that's building and growing in the faith and being a reflection of her husband, she's not gonna be a headache. You know, and it's just you want to change and be prepared now before that harsh humbling comes, right? She couldn't have no child. How worse can it go for you, right? So let's get a few more and then we'll close out. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter. And let's read 32 to 35. It says, and the earth shall be laid waste. This goes into like Jacob's trouble. And this is a form of being humbled. And the fields thereof shall wax old in her ways, and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish in famine. Right? Because some of these men is going to get drafted, and for a judgment, of course, some men is going to die by the sword, and some are going to die by famine. And some of you women might be left alone with your child, right? And if it comes in this time that you're humbled, you're going to have to share a man. When you go to Isaiah 4:1, KJV, NLT, GNT, you can see that few men are left, and it's really going to be the righteous, right? Because of course it's going to be multiple. You're going to have different nations, you know, but it's going to be few real men in this side. Especially you're going to see 10 men over here don't got no food, but you see like 3 men over here that's eating food, that's being taken care of, having a shelter. That's the few men, right? Verse 35, it says, hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. And the servants is the men of the Lord, and the women is the servant under the men. So that's why we all need to be better at listening, right? So that we can receive this message and be prepared for when that day come, right? Let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 32 and verse 2. It says, a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a convert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land, right? And you know, because I got this for a different lesson, but in 2 Samuel chapter 22, you see that the Lord saved David from many waters, right? Many troubles, right? In the men of the Lord in that day, those few men that's going to be left, they're going to be saved, right, from trouble, but literally they're going to be that hiding place for women, you know? Women are going to cleave to these men, right? Because, wow, look at, man, ain't nothing happening. Like, I don't know, brothers is going to grow in their might in that day, you know? And what we going through right now is just a practice run for the final exam. The MOTB, Jacob's trouble, right? The love of many is going to wax cold on this earth, right? So let's stay in Isaiah, but let's go to Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, and let's read 17 to 24. It says, therefore the Lord Yahweh will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and the Lord Yahweh will discover their secret parts, right? And in that day, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their calls and their round tires like the moon, right? The women are gonna lose that outer beauty, right? I think they speak about it in First Timothy, right? The women is gonna be losing their outer beauty, right? And this happened before in time, right? And it's gonna happen in this time, but even worse. It says the change in the bracelets and the mufflers, the bonnets, the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands, and the tablets, and the earrings, the rings, and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wamples, and the crisping pins, the glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. Go watch the movie The Robe, or I think A Night in the Woods. I forgot. Samuel Waller, he was speaking on it at camp. You know, when all hell break loose, right? You got I Am Legend or the Book of Eli. You didn't have all those precious things. Soap was more important than all of that, you know? Because if you do have gold, somebody would trade you, right? Because then it becomes something of value to trade, right? To have this or have that, right? Women gonna get traded in that day, you know? But verse 24, it says, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. Some of y'all women gonna stink. Instead of a girdle, a rent, right? And instead of a well-set hair, baldness, right? A lot of y'all, a lot of Judah already have that now, right? That their hair don't even go down to their waist because you've been cursed. And then some hair is just fully bald like Jada Pickett, right? That's a curse of Yahweh Shema Shai. And watch what's going to happen to some of you women when Jacob Trouble come, them lace fronts come off. Y'all going to really be bald, and you was being so cocky and proud, man. You're going to be humble, you damn chichia pet, right? It says, instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty, right? Because you even got women using girdles now, you know, to slim their stomach, right? But all you women is going to lose all that access to puff up yourself, you know? So again, when you see this title, if it's apologizing or accountability, the demons on them won't allow it, right? And this is why, you know? They're cleaved onto you so much, and this is why you're blinded, you know? And guess what? You deserve it, right? The nigga, he deserve it, and the Jake nigga, the Jake nigga, the female Jake nigga, she deserve it too, man. The 12 tribes deserve what's coming, man. Men and women, right? You deserve it, right? So Lord willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect, and Lord willing, they encourage, you know, the high value women, right? The high value woman is a woman that has fear of Yahweh Shema Shai and grown in the faith. You know, this is to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing and even get even better, you know, to get even better, right? You trying to let your always be beneath you, and you trying to, through the spirit, be over a woman of this world, because she's not high value. And to be high value is a woman that fears Yahweh Shema Shai like the men of the Lord, right? But outside of that, all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles, a great millstone on down who rule well and teach well. Lord willing, they can continue to endure and be sincere. And mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching his word and believing his word. Lord willing, the same spirit that they endure and be sincere. So with that, shalom.